It's your girl, Claudia Jordan, and welcome to Cocktails with Queens. I'm back with my girls, Vivica A. Fox, Lisa Ray, and Selena Johnson to dish about everything trending in social media and in the news. But later on the show, we're chatting with one of the stars from the new psychological thriller Hypnotic, Dayo Okeniyi, and the host of TV One's new dating competition show, The One, Kirk and Tammy Franklin. We got a full show, so let's just get to it real quick. Queens, what's up? How y'all doing? Y'all look beautiful. And how was your weekend?
You look good too. How you doing? Hey, you, and y'all.
Okay.
Hey, girls. Hey.
Hey,
What's
girl.
up?
Hey.
I was in Vegas for Lovers and Friends for that show.
Yes, you were. Honey, how was that? Look, we gonna get into it. I'm just saying, because I saw you there, girl. There was a fool out there.
I mean, it was just hot and going on in Vegas.
Wasn't it?
Wow.
Claudia, now you know we both love us some genuine, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But
Girl.
baby boy took a little tumble. Okay, he took a tumble at the Lovers and Friends. Well, it wasn't actually a tumble. It was kind of like a wrong jump hop. It was a wrong jump hop, and he didn't tumble. I'll give him that. But okay, right.
It looked like he jumped on a box or a speaker that wasn't that stable, and then he almost took the interpreter out. And I felt bad because I was like, all his kids were backstage, and we were all like, oh my God, he poor thing, because he gets a little embarrassed and stuff like that. But he was in good spirits after. He's like, look, it happened. I've messed up twice in my entire 26-year career. I was like, all right. I said, you want to go viral?
There it is.
Got your
One
moment.
thing that Genuine gonna do is perform, honey, because that was part of the performance.
I loved how quickly he did pop up, and then he just went to the other side of the stage and just started jamming with some other fans. The show must go on.
What happened was
he was singing. I think he was still singing from down
singing
below.
on the ground, and he split his pants, and it was all the way from the front to the back. And if anyone's ever seen the pictures that have gone viral of Genuine, them other pictures, he need to have his pants full. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, that's a whole nother thing.
My God,
we'll get into. But anyways,
wait a minute. Big props to the interpreter, because the guy that was signing, he was into it. He was
turned
like,
back around and was like,
he was jamming. If you look at before the tumble happened, the guy that was them sign language, they be with them fingers. Watch out now.
So he had to get new pants mid-show. So he did that. He fell. The pants are ripped. He still had to sing and perform in front of thousands of people. They wrapped the jacket around his waist. Nobody knew what he was saying. He was like, get my pants. And we were like, what pants? I was like, you want my jacket to tie around your waist? And they rushed. They made someone else switch off pants and give him the pants. And then he was able to finish. I will say this. He did not miss one word of the song.
Wow.
Not one word.
Yeah.
I told him he needs to come do Cocktails of Queens, but he'd be a little nervous about these interviews. I said, this is a safe place for you. You'll be good.
Oh yeah, we family. I mean, I did Joanna Man with Genuine, have done tons of appearances with him over the show. So Genuine, if you here, you can come here with your queens, and we got you, King.
We got your back. We good. We good. All right. There's a lot going on. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened that whole weekend. So Lovers and Friends was very, very lit this year. So, all right.
yes, it was, honey. Yes, it was.
What we sipping on tonight? Anybody sipping on anything?
Well, I have my usual, my Pinot Noir in my VFOX glass.
Oh, that's cute.
Got the tea. I got the tea with the Q.
Thank you.
Selena?
I just have a cocktail. It's a conglomeration. It's a Claudia cocktail. It has, a plethora of concepts in it that will hit the spot. Let's just say that.
I'm doing water today because I need a detox.
Oh no, you gotta hydrate today.
I'm sure Vegas was
Vegas wore me out. Okay. Yes, it wore. I go to Vegas already, but never mind when there's a festival going on and drinks is flowing. So I need to just have some. I'm drinking some water right now, and I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow, New York, and then Providence for my mom for Mother's Day. So I need to just hype it. When we older like this, I gotta take it easy. So.
Correct.
Understandable. We'll let you have one water days. You should put a little squeeze of lemon in there, and then it'll look like you've got at least something with a twist.
Okay. On the commercial, I'll do that. All right, let's get into the show. All right, social media has been buzzing over the weekend after it was reported that Usher and Chris Brown got into a physical altercation at Chris's skate party in Las Vegas. TMZ has it on video. Now, sources are saying that Chris originally got into a verbal altercation with Teyana Taylor for unknown reasons, and Usher stepped in to intervene. Chris and Usher went on to perform the next day at Usher's Lovers and Friends Music Festival. Chris also, they said, got into another verbal altercation backstage at Usher's Lovers and Friends Festival. Let's go to the singer first. Selena, what are your thoughts on this story? What do you think?
Oh God. It's not giving enough information for me. It's just a bunch of vocal videos. And for all I know, they could be talking, I don't know what they could be saying. So I really don't have nothing to say. I haven't seen Chris Brown. I mean, lately he hasn't been acting up. So it's odd that he's just turning up. You know, I've heard so many different stories about, you know, why he was mad at Teyana Taylor. Someone said that, you know, she didn't show up for a video for the American Music Awards, so he was mad at her for that. And he went, you know, so it's just a zillion stories. So it's hard for me to speculate. I don't really know, Claudia. I'm just gonna keep the gangs with y'all. Y'all do the turning up on this one because it's not enough information for me to try to, you know.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. When I saw it, I know how that could be where you see something that's in silent, but the passion is there. You know what I mean? Right. The movement is there because people speak like Vivica. No. Be like, well, what the? And then it's like, what's going on? So I concur with Selena. It's not enough there for me to comment on.
Vivica, what do you think?
In it. I wasn't even in Vegas. You know, I did hear a little. No, I do speak passionately when I'm pissed off. Now,
who you telling?
I will not lie about that. You will know when I'm feeling a little hot under the collar. But I did hear a little bit of video and heard a couple of FUs, F her, and things of this nature. I did.
Okay.
So this is all I want to say. You know, I hate to hear that when we all get together, we can't get along. Because usually then what happens is that then gunfire and things like that happen and people easily lose their lives or get injured. So I want us to, you know, when we have events where everyone can start, ain't y'all happy to go back out again?
Right.
Ain't y'all happy that COVID is pretty much over? You ain't having to test all the damn time. How come we just can't all get together and have a good old show and everybody get along and it doesn't lead to violence or bad reputations that when we all get together, we can't get along with each other? Please, y'all, young men, young women, don't forget that sometimes people, they just looking for a reason to pull out a gun and to shoot. We lost Takeoff behind us getting together and somebody lost their lives. Lost their life, which to this day, you know, I still feel deeply. So let's just learn that when we get together, if you ain't got something to say nice, go the other way.
Right.
Go the other way. Grow up. You know, it ain't always got to be when we get together, we can't have a good time. So that's how I feel about the situation, because I really think that Usher, the Lovers and Friends concert that he wanted to have was for everybody to have a good time. The birthday party that he threw was for us to have a good time. Let's be respectful of that.
I'm going to say this, and this is going to be hard. I got to choose my words carefully because I know Chris Brown's fan base is very loyal. And I think that's a good and a bad thing because I think he doesn't often get held accountable because we love him so much and because he's so talented. So a lot of times we make excuses for him. He's been in trouble. He's emotional. We know this. Let's not act like we don't all know this because we do know this. And it's unfortunate because the man is on the level of the MJs of the world and the Beyoncés. If you talk about performance and talents, I just think he's super talented and sometimes he gets in his own way. So tough love to you, Chris. I think you're the shit as an artist. I really, really do. But I hate that we talk about these other things and not about how good you are on stage. You killed it. You are amazing. And Teyana Taylor is a woman. She's a fellow queen. You don't need to be screaming on her. We did hear on the video him saying F her.
Oh, wow.
I did hear that. And I did hear it did happen, but everyone's being quiet and they asked both teams to not release any footage because they want this to go away. And I want it to go away too, but I think babying Chris Brown is not the answer. And I think he's been babied a lot by the Black community. Some people feel very harshly about him. And a lot of people are like, nah, man, but be honest, it's everyone else's fault except his. Sometimes it's his fault. And it's okay. But it's okay for, let me real quick. It's okay for it to be his fault sometimes. But he needs someone to pull him aside, maybe an Usher, because I think they squashed it and be like, bruh, don't mess up your own ticket here because you are dope.
I don't think we were, well, I don't know if you were saying we were.
I'm not saying you, I mean society.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I just didn't hear any of that. But since what you and Vivica said, you did hear him saying that. Now, come on, Chris. You know, she's a married woman. Do you know her husband is Iman Shumpert? Did you know that he's from Chicago? I'm just saying, like, you probably should chill. You got to sit. Maybe these people are not thinking before they react. And that's probably part of the problem.
What we're going to say, Lisa?
Why he got to chill? Why he got to chill? What if he felt just like what he said? F her. What if he felt like that? And he's saying that to his friend. What I don't like about it is that every time we bring up his name, not us, but every time his name is brought up, that he always get automatically blamed because he is that way. We know him to be that. So it gotta be him. That's what I don't like when people have that kind of stigma, because I got that. It's quick for you to think that, oh, well, Lisa Ray would have did that, or Lisa Ray said that. And I don't like that, because that very next time, it could have been very different. But you blame me because of my past.
But if you have 2 incidents in one weekend, like, again, we're playing, like, come on. If I have 2 incidents in one weekend, I go, come on, y'all judge me for something I did 8 years ago, but I did 2 of those things this weekend that were both caught on audio.
What 2 things? What was the one
there
thing?
Was another. There was 2 arguments that were caught on video where he was like out of pocket. I'm just saying, you're right. There could be more to it, and there usually is, right? But when and also when you know, like, because you know that someone says that stuff about you, or someone says stuff about me, or Vivica or Selena, we have to be extra careful to not give anyone anything. Like, because they'd be like, look, there she is. You may be in the total right about something, but you're going to get blamed because of your past. And that's just the way life is. We can't change that. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate that he's going to be, we're always going to look at him through that lens, but it's on him to also change the narrative. Like, we got to see him not react like that. We got to see him be like, you know what? Let me count to 10. Because Usher don't never beef with nobody.
Yeah, he's
an Usher.
Sometimes you can do that, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you get, somebody get up under your collar, and you got to go around to them real quick just to remind them that they shouldn't, couldn't, and wouldn't.
That's what he did. He went round.
I would just like to say this. It's about maturity and choices. When you find yourself, if you know you're going to be high strung, take measures so that you don't put yourself in situations for stuff to jump off or to pop off, period. That means having security. If you know it's going to be a lot of people there, everyone's drinking, have a good time, take precautions to protect your peace at all costs.
And real quick, I know we have to go to break. I will say this, that second thing that was on camera really wasn't him fighting anyone. It was actually him defending and being protective over his kid being backstage. So I'm gonna clear shit up when I feel like I can. But I'm just saying, because of the other incident, it's very easy for people to say, look, another thing.
And that was my point. Exactly.
But that's on us. Like, if you didn't have the first one, the second one wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, we have to sometimes let me chill. All right, y'all. Good conversation. Coming up next, we are chatting with one of the stars from the psychological thriller Hypnotic, Dayo Okeniyi. And I hope I didn't destroy his name, because he's a dope actor, and we are happy to have him. We'll be right back with more Cocktails with Queens after this.
Welcome back to Cocktails with Queens. Ooh, y'all, tonight we got something a little special for y'all. We have an amazing actor. His name is Dayo Okeniyi, and we make sure we got that name right. He is the star of Hypnotic, a new mind-bending action thriller from visionary director Robert Rodriguez, opening in theaters nationwide this Friday, May 12th. Let's check him out.
Watch your step. You could have called Diana. Send a text. One of those little Morse code thingies. I do have radio, Showing up unannounced is just rude.
Homemade Mountain Dew. My own brew. All organic.
No thanks.
All right. Huh? All right, fine. More for me.
Ooh. Please welcome to Cocktails with Queens, Dayo Okeniyi. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good. How you ladies doing? How you queens doing?
Excellent. Now let's give
Sensational.
all of our fans a little bit of your history. In 2010, you took a leap of faith to move to Los Angeles from Nigeria, okay, to pursue an acting career, and you gave yourself 6 to 7 years to accomplish your dream. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Wow. People have been doing some research, but yeah, honestly, the story is a lot longer than that. My father's Nigerian, my mother's Kenyan. They were fortunate enough to come to America in the 70s. I'll give you all the abridged version, but they came in the 70s. They met in America and then went back to Nigeria and had myself and my siblings. The years after that, when it was time for me to, pursue education, I wanted to come to America. And so I came really earlier, like in 2003, and then I finished college. And then I had the chance to go back in 2010 with a degree, but, acting has always been my love. I started in the theater, and in my mind, I had the idea of like trying to move out to LA and give it like 3 years to try and see if something could happen. But, God had other plans. So in 2011, I found myself in the set of The Hunger Games, and that story in its own is another incredible story. But far away from home, but you got to step out of your comfort zone for dreams to come true.
I know that's right. And, speaking of Hunger Games, Dayo, how did booking a role in Hunger Games change your life? And basically just tell us the story, because you were just about to turn up on us and then we just layered into that story. So what's something, how did it change your life? And what's probably the biggest thing that you took from doing that movie?
Right. Man, there's so many things that I took. I mean, that movie is littered with legends, from Lenny Kravitz to, Jennifer Lawrence and Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks. I mean, it's such a stacked cast, I mean, Mr. Sutherland himself, he should be a knight. I should call him Sir Sutherland, so being on that set was the best acting school that anybody could ever go to. I'm, like I said, I grew up on stage. I'm a theater kid, but I didn't go to school formally for acting. So being on that set with a whole bunch of young people was amazing. You know what I mean? And Gary Ross, shout out to him. He was incredible with letting us young actors in on the process. Days when we weren't working, he was like, if you want to come to set, if you want to see how the cheese is made, you can come to set. So days that I wasn't working, I would just show up and just watch people and just ask questions, everything from in front and behind the camera. So that was such an incredible experience. And it really completely changed my life. I had only been in LA for a year at that point. And I'm very aware that that story is very unusual. It doesn't happen like that for people at all. I was fully ready to be a 7-year overnight success, something like that. I was planning for that, living in my 1-bedroom, mattress on the floor in Venice, California. But like I said, God had other plans. It's so crazy. I actually booked the role of Hunger Games on Good Friday. 11 years ago now, 12 years ago now. Yeah, it's a crazy story. But, I'm trying to, condense it all just so we have enough time to talk about what we got to talk about. But it completely changed my life. I mean, it's a snowball event. You ladies know how it goes. This is one of those industries where, work begets work. So that kind of happened. And then it just kind of snowballed into a whole bunch of incredible things.
Well, Dayo.
Yeah, never heard that one before. Never heard that one before. Rest in peace, Belafonte. Usually I'd be tight, but when he passed away this year, so I was like, you know what? If anybody wants to sing that song to me, thinking they're the first, I'm gonna let it slide.
It felt very, very African, very, you know what I mean, Caribbean,
true,
very African American, very powerful.
Yeah,
now, speaking of powerful films, you are also starring alongside Ben Affleck and Alice Pryor in the psychological thriller Hypnotic. Yeah. What can you tell us about that film and that character?
Crazy. Without a doubt, one of the most insane characters I've played in my career. No question. I got to give, Robert Rodriguez the flowers that he deserves for being gracious enough to let me take on this part. It's such an amazing film. It's just one of those incredible summertime blockbuster, mind-bending, science fiction stories, which, I always loved. I've always been a big fan of very deep adult science fiction. And this is very much in the vein of that. And Robert has been working on this movie for a long time. I mean, he said he was writing this since he did From Dusk Till Dawn, with Tarantino and George Clooney back in the day. And it's taken this long to gestate. And, he needed the right leading man, right leading woman, to come on.
You auditioned for it, or there was an offer?
No, I auditioned for this. I did. It's so funny because I'd gone in for something else completely different, and I didn't even think they would give me this role. Like, this was actually the role that I liked, just because, you know, being an actor of color, sometimes being a Black actor, sometimes you get offered somewhat stereotypical roles or somewhat safe roles. Mm-hmm. And so when I read it initially, I didn't even look at this part. I remember loving this part, but I just going, nah, they're probably going to get some. It's like it's the role you save in a project for the Academy Award winning actor to come in and like be very eccentric and be this, you know, wild card kind of a character kind of a thing. It's the juicy role you save. So I was thinking, oh, they're probably going to get, you know, I don't know, somebody really big to come in and just fill this part. And so when I'd gone into audition for another part and we got a call, I know Robert was like, this guy should come for River. I was like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? So I was over the moon, you know. So I remember it was really quick. I remember I got on the call with Robert. We read it a couple of times. This was like on a Friday. You know, he was like, okay, you're going to hear back from us pretty soon. Saturday morning, I get a call. They're like, you're going to fly to Austin, Texas today. Sunday, I did a fitting. And Monday morning at 5 a.m., I'm looking Ben Affleck at the eyeballs. Like, so it was like that. It was quick.
I love when it happens like that.
I do. I don't like to wait.
When they don't jump through a whole bunch of hoops, like, it's about time they're giving us a turn. Like, wow.
Before I get to my question, I would just like to point out something that I just was sitting here laughing to myself. When we have a man with a sexy voice, look how well behaved no one's talking over each other. We listening like intently and being behaved. I mean, anyways, I want to give you some love from the chat, okay? Because there's a lot of people saying some good things about you. Janelle Robinson said, let's give this man his flowers. She also says, yes, Nigerian King. They're saying how awesome you are. You're doing your thing. I can't even with the mint smile. They're really going in on you in a positive way. And I just like to tell our guests when you're making an impact like that. So
I feel like you ladies, throw it on, stand up or turn around or something, you know.
Listen, I'm dark skinned, but I'm blushing. Make no mistake. We just, you know, dark skinned brothers, we just hide it better.
Can I just ask a quick question? How old are you?
I'm 34. I'll be 35. I'll be 35 in what, 30 days? June 14. Yeah, I got a birthday coming up.
Okay.
He can run a car, man. You old enough?
Absolutely.
Okay, Dayo.
I want you to stand up and turn around, but okay.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe I don't have pants on. You know what I'm saying? This is Zoom, you know?
I felt that. That's why I said that.
It could get real spicy.
I really want you to turn around and stand up.
I see them guns. I see them guns popping out. You know what I'm saying?
The shirt is creasing. The crease is creasing.
Okay,
this is about to be Cocktails and Queens after dark up in here. Okay.
Oh, word. Y'all these guys, you got spicy in here.
Let's not treat our accomplished African king actor as a piece of meat. But you can look at Lisa Ray. She's like, damn. Anyways, let me get back to your career, Dayo. How has it been, like starring alongside, you know, Ben Affleck and Alice Braga? How was that?
Amazing. It's so funny. Alice and I, we just wrapped the project a week ago, another project. So we did Hypnotic together, and then we went right into doing another show for Apple. For Apple TV Plus called Dark Matter with her and Joel Edgerton. So that's really excited about that, but we'll save that. That's not till next year. Probably should be talking about that. Publicist probably losing her mind right now. But I mean, an amazing cast, you know, Ben, incredible filmmaker and actor, and, you know, Elise, the whole cast, Will Finchner. It was amazing. We filmed it in Austin, Texas, which was the first time I'd ever filmed in Austin. And if you've never, I mean, for those who are actors, never filmed there before, great city to film, like really great, very hospitable, amazing. Robert Rodriguez like has his own studio down there. It's so funny. I always joke with people. I'm like, yo, he's low key like the Tyler Perry of Austin, Texas. He got his own little situation down there. He makes his own movies. They leave him alone, you know. And but just the nicest guy, man. It's funny because, you know, they always say never meet your heroes, you know, and because sometimes they'll turn you down, or rather they'll let you down. But he was one of those people where you meet him and he's exactly what you hope for. You know, such a giving guy, so collaborative. You know what I mean? I mean, some of these guys have been in the game 20, 30 plus decades and are at the highest, you know, level of their game. And he welcomed me like I was truly one of them, and, you know, a true collaborator. And that's rare in this business, especially for people like us. So, you know, I'll go to the distance for that guy. You know, he's incredible. incredible
I'm gonna ask
filmmaker.
you, ask you a question that's a little bit different than what our producers wanted me to ask. Anybody on your dream list to work with?
Ooh, I mean, I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of people, you know. So I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was like, "Yo, sometimes you don't really look back on your career and realize you've worked with, you know, the Brie Larsons, the Jennifer Lawrences." I was on a show with J-Lo, Jennifer. It's so funny. I just did this movie with Ben, but I actually worked with Jennifer before with J-Lo. I was on a show called Shades of Blue. So we played partners. We played cop partners. I was her partner on the show. So I remember when I got this part, I actually like sent her a message. I was like, "Yo, I'm going to be working with Blue Thing." It's kind of funny, but so yeah, I worked with, you know, Ray Liotta on that show. Rest in peace. You know, Ray passed away. We lost him as well. And yeah, I've just been really, really, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was in the Terminator franchise with him as well. Just really incredible filmmakers. Courtney B. Vance, man, played my father. So for me, I kind of just surrender. I'm the kind of person where I don't try to plan too much. I kind of like to stay a little bit fluid, you know, and I feel like if my heart's in the right place, you know, if I stay, you know, in line with God and what he wants from me, the right people will come to me. You know what I mean? But I'm truly a lover of film. You know, I want to work with everybody. I want to work with Denzel, obviously. I want to work with, you know, Will. I want to work with, you know, Jamie Foxx, who I know is going through a tough time right now. So, you know, hearts out to Jamie, his current situation. There's just so many filmmakers I want to work with, you know. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis, can he please come out of retirement to work with me? You know?
No, bro, I was actually doing a shameless plug for Vivica Fox. I was just, you know, I'm gonna keep that.
Vivica Fox, obviously.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You're just awesome. You've lit up the show tonight. Cocktails with Queens. May God continue to bless you with more films, more of everything. I can even see you as a director in the future because your presence is just so knowledgeable, and your love for filmmaking just reeks through the camera. It really does. So we wish you nothing but the best. And we thank you so much for joining us here on Cocktails with Queens.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, so much. This is amazing. And yes, people, Hypnotic comes out on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. May 12th in theaters. I know you got to go back to the theaters. I feel like we got to preserve the theater going experience. So please go cop a ticket, go see it.
No doubt,
it's an amazing movie.
As he said, Hypnotic coming out this Friday, May 12th in theaters. Coming up next is Queendom. And later in the show, we are catching up with powerhouse couple Kirk and Tammy Franklin. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. All right, everyone, we have reached the part of the show where we talk about our relationships, the challenges we have faced in our lives, and how we overcame them. Welcome to our Queendom. Tonight's topic will focus on how Black women can strip the masculine traits and tap into their authentic power. This topic stemmed from a conversation between attorney Ebony K. Williams and Iyanli Von Zant. During a conversation about how Black women can position themselves in their divinity, Iyanli asked Ebony if she would date a bus driver. Ebony then replied, if he owns the bus. I mean, if he owns it. And then Iyanli added, well, that's a problem because the standards and requisites, well, the standards and criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. So ladies, I know you've been seeing this conversation all over social media. What are your thoughts on this conversation? Vivica, let's go to you first.
Well, Ebony, baby, you answered that question so wrong. I'm so sorry. You know, choices are everything. And I get it. You was being transparent and straightforward, but boy, did you just put down a whole group of good, strong men that are hard workers and work hard. I mean, you know, yes, we all want guys that run companies and this, that, and the third, but I don't know, the way she answered it to me, I just thought was awful.
Yeah. Lisa Ray, what do you think?
I'm in the middle because, you know, I can say that I know what she meant, but when you don't say it or articulate it in a way in which, you know, people will make it a soundbite, then you get this right here, which is what we're doing, is talking about it, you know?
Correct.
So I understand that. I think as a Black woman, we get it, you know, but because we are on so many different levels, there is somebody out there for everybody.
Yes.
You know, at whatever level. And it's someone to be able to grab your hand, pick you up, pull you up. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of strong women out there that don't mind what he does. And here's a great example. Remember Ashford and Simpson? Remember, she met him in Central Park. You know what I mean? And she pulled him up, took him to church, dusted him off, and they, you know, fellowship together. They fell in love, they married, and it was the best duo ever, you know? So yeah, I think that she could have answered that with more depth.
I agree.
Grace.
Wow. Yeah, you ladies are let me tell y'all, it's turning up. Claudia, what do you think?
Actually, I think if people were being honest, a lot of people would agree with her. But, you know, because someone else did it, we can all point at her and be like, aha, she's being mean. She's putting down the bus driver community. This woman is a woman that went to college and universities and got her several degrees and is a lawyer that probably makes a lot of money. And I don't think she was putting down bus drivers. She said she wanted to date the owner. We've all talked like that. And I think if we keep it honest, white women don't have to explain this kind of stuff, but when Black women do it, we want them so quick to say they're down an entire community. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. She thinks she's better than him. She's this, she's that. And then she followed up. And I do think, you know, people may be turned up by the way she comes off. She's very intelligent. And, you know, I could see how people could be offended if they did, in fact, drive the bus. But I don't think she was shitting on bus drivers. She said what she wanted. How was her preference wrong? We got to sit here all day and hear men say what they want. You got to have a big boat. You got to have this, got to have that. If I don't fit to that characters, if those traits, should I be like, oh, he's a this or he's a that? He don't like girls like me. I just think we got to just give people a little bit of grace. And then the sound bites.
I think you're right, Claudia, because that's what I mean. It's like when Black women, we should get it because we have said that before. But yes, because they want to take it and run with it. And if you're that kind of person, i.e., me, you know what I mean? I have been Lisa Ray said, and I'm like, Lisa Ray said what now? You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? So I can't no longer hold on to that. You know what I mean? I have to say what I mean and take out the narrative of what they thought thought they heard I said and not add anything to it because I would say my own statement like, boom, period. That's what I mean.
And agreeing with what Vivica said, it did come off awful if you only heard what's in the sound bite. Of course,
okay, but like, Claudia, can I say this though? Let this be a lesson to this beautiful lady that you have power, because I had to learn myself how that when you do interviews, if you say so, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So let this be a lesson to her is what I mainly am trying to say. I'm not trying to come across as a mean girl. I get what she was trying to say, but I'm saying it's like, once you start getting into a certain level of recognition and stuff like that, you now don't want everyone coming at you because you've said something that you honestly didn't mean it. I've said it before and didn't mean for something to come across toward a certain community. But you know what I did? I owned it immediately and said, nope, that's not what I meant. That was a soundbite. I was glad to hear that the young lady, Ebony, went back and tried to clarify things. But let this be a lesson to her is the main thing.
And then she was attacked because she was engaged to a white man at one point. So now they think that's a whole narrative on her whole entire life. And this woman has always spoke up for Black people.
That's right, Selena. Baby, but as I said, that then opens Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listen, all amazing points, all great points. And this is why I think that this conversation needs to be, you know, extended in many areas, especially with our Black men involved. But let me just say this as a married woman. I've been married for 16 years. And let me just say this. I understand what Ebony K was saying, okay? First of all, if that's her preference, that's her preference. It has absolutely nothing to do with 100% of the people that are commenting, including us. Mm-hmm. However, what we need to understand is, first of all, we need to reactualize the blue-collar worker. We need to re-identify that worker because there are bus drivers in New York, honey, that make six figures. Let's be very clear with pensions and everything else to go with it. What I understand from her, though, which I'm going to lean on her side a little bit on this is, and not even really her side, because I don't know if she meant this. She makes six figures. Women like us that have money, that want a man that has, you know, equal or equally yoked, like Lisa Ray says, we don't want your money. We want you to have it for you. because you need to have that money for your ego, for your stance, for your pride, so that you can come into relationships strong. Because if not, you're going to come into relationships insecure. You're going to pressure, you're going to blame us for making more. Listen, it's going to cause problems down the line, possibly. It's just like if a man has a roaming eye or anything else. If we see something in the relationship that may not be in alignment with us, which could be that you don't make enough money, that could be a problem down the line. Could cause depression, anxiety, and so many other things in the relationship. Not to say that would happen with all men, but there are so many other reasons. She doesn't need your money, guys. Ebony doesn't need your money. She just wants somebody to be equally yoked, someone that can help her grow and you all grow together. And I think that's what she was trying to say. She just didn't communicate it like she should have. But this is a great conversation. It needs to be expanded, extended, and talked about in many platforms. I'm glad that we could touch it, ladies. Thank you so much for your amazing opinions and wisdom. Of course, you all you queens have so much wisdom. But coming up next, we get to hang with some more wisdom, honey. We're chatting with the host of TV One's new dating show, The One. You know what? We should ask them what they think, honey. Kirk and Tammy Franklin, they are up next, and you don't want to miss it.
I love my job. Welcome back. Welcome back. Tonight, we are joined by the host of TV One's new dating competition show, The One. Let's take a look at this new series.
Most people don't know when it comes to love, Tam and I are the unofficial matchmakers. And now we're switching up the game, bringing our matchmaking expertise to the TV screen.
Get naked on the first date.
We will share our wisdom when it comes to getting and maintaining a healthy, thriving relationship.
It's time to find the one.
Do you want to come to the mansion? Me and my girl Tammy, we're going to switch up the game a bit right here. We're going to take an eligible bachelor and eligible bachelorette.
They both have struggled to find that special someone.
We're going to make them live together as they both go on a mission to seek and find
Love.
Yes, please welcome Kurt and Tammy Franklin. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. We're glad to be here, ladies.
And listen.
Tam, you got in on some TV time, girl. You up there. You right next to your honey
They're gonna pull me in, y'all.
Okay. I know. Okay, now listen, you all have been married for about, 27 years?
Wow.
When did you both realize that you were the one for each other?
Well, first of all, I need y'all to know that this ain't no Christian dating show.
It didn't look like it either. No.
Y'all been asking us no Christian.
Okay.
Good.
We want real questions.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
No, I want to know that because 27 years, that's a long time, especially in Hollywood. That's a lifetime. And so, when everybody is looking for that one, they're looking for the goosebumps. They're looking for the butterflies in the stomach or whatever. But did you all have that when you first met? Like, what was that to let you know that you're the one?
Boo to the butterflies. Boo to the bubble guts.
I mean,
No.
thought he was cute. I mean, attraction, if we're honest, is the first thing that you notice about someone. But above that, and he was real cute. He was real cute, I thought. But above that, I was a package deal. Like I had a daughter. And so I wanted someone that I felt that could be a great father to her.
And I really married her for her daughter.
Yeah, he loved her more.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes, this is true.
Is I wanted her daughter in my life.
Yes, I believe so. But
Tammy was a bonus.
So for me, someone that I saw that could come alongside me and, be someone healthy in her life and not add trauma. Her father was not a part of her life. And so for me, that was really important to have someone to come alongside me and someone that I felt would be a good addition to her life and not add, trauma. Then of course our faith, being equally yoked in that manner was important to me too.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, girl. You a rider.
I am.
You a rider. Yes. Yes, we've heard some things. We know some things, you know what I mean? But what I want to say is that you remind me of one of them old school women that's going to stand by their man, and you can teach a whole lot of us how to do just that. I am glad that you all have this show, The One.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what's funny is some people say that you and I look like sisters.
I know, just the light skin thing with the hair. You know what I'm saying? Just write something out for ourselves now.
Speaking of that, okay, guys, listen, it's very rare that couples are reaching these milestones in their relationships. And I have so many single friends, and they just don't know what to do because it's so difficult dating and trying to find someone, let alone stay in these marriages and have healthy relationships. What do you think is the key element to longevity in marriage? I've been married 16 years, so I'm.
Well, you know, is one thing that's very important to me is because, you know, walking in a space, because you guys have lived in a space of TV and live in a public space. You know, one thing that I've seen even in the career that I've had doing gospel music is that there is a perspective and a perception that people have that because you do gospel music, you're supposed to be always above reproach. You're always supposed to have it perfect and right. You're not supposed to have any flawed areas about your life. And I've noticed now in this space now that people translate that to public marriages. They think that these marriages are supposed to look like the filters on Instagram. And I think the reason people are frustrated is because we've made marriage the prerequisite to life. That how many times have you gone to some older, you know, sisters and, you know, and you may be a 28, 30-year-old woman and the older sisters at church gonna go, why you not married yet? Why you ain't got no kids yet? Like your existence is not fulfilled until you get married. And I think that that is so unfortunate as a culture and a community that we make marriage the end goal of your existence as a human being. So I think that that's got to be debunked. And I think also that another thing that has to be debunked, just like people that say that they believe in God, is that the human perspective of your life must be celebrated. The flawed areas, that there are no perfect people, so there are no perfect marriages. And the reason why I think people live frustrated, my sisters, is that because they are always trying to chase what we post. And the thing is that you've got to be able to turn that phone off and know that real life don't work like that.
Yes, God.
You know, that picture, like that picture went through a filter. That picture had a professional photographer. That picture had a stylist, maybe. That picture had a coordinator. Yes. But in real life,
several poses that they choose from. And decided, oh, this is the one that I'm going to. I mean, sometimes literally, I tell myself, let me go live my life. Let me put this phone down and get out of somebody else's life. Let me go live mine. In an imperfected way. I mean, we say that we want to, and especially within our community, grace over perfection, but then there is some reason where we still require perfection. And this, you know, especially within the church, it's like, no, imperfected people.
Yeah.
So then what's the key? What do you think is the one thing that people need to understand, you know what I'm saying, for longevity?
That before you get married, you must be a complete person. That you are good before you get married. That this westernized ideal that you need to have somebody to complete yourself. I'm just, first of all, just by sheer numbers. Every person is not going to be able to get married just by the sheer numbers of women versus men that are born on this planet. That's right. That's reality. Yeah. And so because of that, you think that God created for every single person to be miserable? No, there's a fulfillment and there is a purpose in life that even when you're single, and what happens is as you are growing and building your life, there's this either providence or serendipity that you run into your person, but you run into your person not waiting on your person. You run into your person while doing you.
Yes.
Thank you for, it's nice to hear, especially a man say that comment you made, the statement you made about people really being valued, whether or not, where's your man? Where's your husband? And also they do it to women with children. And I think that's really cruel because we're expected to be all things, like be successful, have their own money, not be a gold digger, don't need this from no man. But then when you out here chasing your dream and you maybe put that aside or you focus on other things, you get criticized for that. And I do think it's a dangerous, slippery slope to go down to only mostly do that to women because they don't do it to men. They don't value men based on whether or not they're married.
Hold on. Y'all be quiet, I'm doing an interview.
Well,
the longevity as well, laughter.
Amen.
Franklin, go keep it real.
It's medicine.
And they still not hearing me. Hold on, let me get this.
Well, Tammy, we're gonna talk to you now. Now, y'all are hosting a really fun dating competition series on TV One called The One, and I cannot wait to see it. What can you tell us about the show and what what led y'all to want to do this and take on this experience as hosts?
Can y'all even hear me?
Yes, we can.
Our children over there clowning.
Okay.
Somebody go break out the belt. Watch out now.
She like, come on here. Nah. All right. Okay.
But I just want to ask you, Kirk, now that you done got the children together, what made this project something you all were like, you know what, we should take this on and host this kind of show? I'm sure y'all get offers all the time. So what was about this project?
Yeah, we've gotten asked to do reality TV way before we actually did it. And it just felt like it wasn't the right fit for our family, especially when our kids were younger. And now that we're on the other side of raising children and empty nested, for us, it just felt organic, and being able to help people, come alongside them, coach them. For me, it helped me with my yes. I'm like, you know what, this type of reality I can do. And then the contestants we have on the show are a little older and have lived some life. And so that was also something that was exciting for me, where a lot of times on dating shows, it is coming from the lens of a very, very younger audience. But these, you see our bachelor is, he's salt and pepper. And, our bachelorette is in her mid-30s. And so I think that's going to be refreshing for people to see.
I love it.
I like it. I do. I love it. It's like the Bachelor and Bachelorette, brother and sister, but older and more.
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about Tammy, man. I'm very excited that people get a chance to see Tammy shining. I'm really excited about people getting a chance now to see her glow up. We are empty nesters now, and so now she's getting a chance to walk into some swag and some things that I really hope can translate into some other opportunities for her. And I'm just really proud to see that maybe there's some great opportunities for her to do some big things.
And we know she got swag because she got you. So,
Well, absolutely, honey. She's really the one that turns up. Okay.
Yes, she is.
I gotta say, there's an episode where Selena comes for a visit as well, which is one of my favorite episodes. I can't wait for y'all to see.
Because me and Tammy be turning up. We be going in on Kirk, but Kirk be turning up back. But speaking of turning up, Kirk, one of my favorite things is your music. Okay?
Yeah.
And your personality is, fantastic. You and Tammy are amazing. But your music, listen, it is what it is. And outside of your hosting duties, you recently dropped a new single called All Things. Honey, I just made this piece be with you on my Instagram just the other day. So let's take a look at the new single, All Things.
Talking about all things, all the big and the small things. He sees you. Talking about doors you've never seen. Yes. Blessings on blessings for you to receive. Talking about all things. See the blessings coming. Big and the small things. But he had to get you ready for it. Talking about doors you've never seen. Yes, sir. Blessings on blessings for you to receive. What are we talking about? All things.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
another turn up.
Franklin beat to it that you're gonna be jamming.
and all the way you're gonna be telling us what to do. What?
The whole time. Okay, so what was the inspiration behind that particular single, All Things?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of fear and anxiety that's permeating culture right now, that everybody's afraid, trying to figure out how they're gonna make it. And because that's a reality, then I think that it's just important to remind people that, if we believe in him, then we got to trust that he's going to show up, and that he's not going to do just a little bit, but he's going to do all. Yeah. And so, the song is just trying to remind, his sons and daughters that there's nothing too big or too small that he can't do. And you don't have to be perfect for him to do it in order for him to show up, and you don't have to have it all together, and I think that those are the unfortunate misnomers that we do, whether in relationships or in relationship, I'm saying, that we got to be right for it to work. All you got to do is just have a heart that wants to be something better than where you are. And so when you have that, even in your flawed areas, like, because there's not one more flaw to me. Y'all hear me yelling, is that, that nothing disqualifies you from the type of love that was here before you got here.
And let me say, I have to say that you guys have given us just enough of everything, just the realness of just what you just did. Hey, I'm doing an interview. That's why we love you all. And we're excited to see you, Tammy, shine, because we've always seen you shine alongside of Kirk. But to have you all both together, I know it's dynamic. We're going to watch out for this show. We're going to support you all. And we love you guys for joining us. We thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
And keep it tight and right. I said
Yes, yes. Coming up next, we have more Cocktails with Queens.
Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens, fun times with the Franklins. All right, before we go, Jennifer Hudson recently told Swiss Beats that she would be interested in doing a versus battle with her former American Idol competitor and longtime friend Fantasia. Ladies, real quick, y'all here for this or not?
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
that's all y'all gonna hear all show. It's notes.
I saw them in concert together, and Jennifer was Fantasia came as her special guest, and she blew the house down, both of them together. So I'm here for it.
Honey, it'll be a sing fest, and singing in all the right notes, in all the right keys, with all the correct lyrics and words, and probably no foolishness. It's going to be a sing fest. I'm excited.
Yes, that would
They're my
really
girls.
be some true queens bringing it to verses.
Yes.
And what a great season that was when they were both on. Like, they are both like so good.
They
All
bomb.
right, y'all, we're here for it, Jennifer and Fantasia. All right,
Yeah.
special thanks to Dayo Okeniyi and Kirk Franklin and Tammy Franklin for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Please hit that like button and tell a friend. Once again, Hypnotic will be opening in theaters nationwide this Friday, May 12th. Stay tuned for more Black Water Horse movies. Catch it on our YouTube channel and website. We will see y'all next week. Woo.
Great show. Great show. I love this. We had fun.
Bye, and everybody look extra beautiful today, too, they're saying in the comments.
Okay.